Game development might be one of the most challenging hobbies or jobs out there, but it is still a very favored one. I differentiate between three major components: music, art, and arguably the biggest one, the technical aspect like programming, for example. And that's not to say that art or music are not technical. I mean, look at this. Both of them are under profession for no reason. But this is just barely scratching the surface of the game dev iceberg, and besides that I feel safe to say that the most work goes into game logic. But before you even reach this point, you have to start somewhere, and there is nothing better than the feeling you get when opening a new project. The empty 3D gizmo, the empty file explorer.
Damn.
You are effectively God now, and the universe is your playground. Except of course there is nothing here so far. So you better get up and start working. The problem is just, the flame goes out very quickly, just like Thor from Pirate Software said, starting somewhere new, shiny, new, great. But after that,
Yeah, this is work now.
work. And don't get me wrong, my superpower is not jumping projects, no matter what. But I still felt motivation fading the longer I worked on the same project. This got especially reinforced by the fact that most of the work went into behind the scenes systems. Because of that, you didn't get to physically see your progress like you would if you had, for example, made new levels. What really refueled me the first time was a visual rework, because I couldn't stand the ugly half-prototype textures I made in the very beginning. That worked for quite a while, but in the end I still wasn't 100% happy. So reworking graphics became something quite common, and this is where I am now. Maybe the previous version with the darker vibe wasn't too bad either, but what is most important is that the last time I remade the textures I respected the color theory and stuck to a complementary color style, or at least somewhat. Because the beige is clearly more dominant so far, but more on that in a second. Also, you hear many people saying how featureitis is a bad thing, and if you can't control it, then it absolutely is. But in all honesty, if you feel like making a cool main menu intro animation, then go ahead and do it. If this is what it takes for you to be able to start the next huge step, then so be it. But let's jump back to talking about color theory. Color theory is the study of how color combinations affect our perception, and if we take a look at this Hollow Knight image there, which by the way is known to be an incredibly beautiful game, and we look at the color palette, then we see that the colors are concentrated in about this area of the color wheel. This is called an analogous color combination, which basically means the colors are very close to each other on the color wheel. So this image is using the same color scheme as the Hollow Knight image. The image with the flower down here is using a complementary color scheme, so it's using two opposing colors. This was also my idea when styling the last version of my game, but I might change this later to a triadic scheme. Canva, or Canva, I don't know, is a banger website I found when searching color theory related stuff, and I highly recommend checking this one out. So to sum things up, now that my game doesn't look like a pile of garbage that much anymore, it almost feels like I already am working on a new project.
Because it's new. Because it's special. Because it's shiny.